لم يجعل الله الواجب أحمده سبحانه وتعالى وأشكره وهو حمد وأهل وثانا وأشهد أن لا إله إلا هو وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله المصطفى اللهم صل وسلم على رسولك محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. Alhamdulillah, we thank Allah Almighty for every opportunity. Allah Almighty says to us that on Jumah to stop everything, leave everything, and hasten to the mosque for worship. It's not the building that gives, it's not the building that gives the people the honor. It's who's in the building that gives the building honor. So Allah Almighty says, hasten to the mosque so that you can remember me and I can remember you. Because we are endless, unlimited people. But we're also in limits. So that part of us that's endless, we have to do the work of this life and the next life while we're still in this life. And if we are an endless being, that means that Allah Almighty wants us to endlessly remember Him so He can endlessly remember us. And this is what we don't get. Our worshiping Allah Almighty is only maybe on a Friday or maybe a couple of times during the day. But mostly our mind is not remembering Allah Almighty, but we are temporary beings here. Our physical body is temporary. It's going to leave here to go somewhere else. So Allah Almighty is saying, prepare yourselves for a longer journey. This is just a pit stop in an endless, eternal existence. When Allah Almighty says that marriage is half of your faith and the other half is to fear Allah Almighty, how do you measure that? How do you measure the fear of Allah Almighty? How do you measure marriage being half your faith? Why? Because you have to fear Allah Almighty through your marriage. Through your marriage, you experience all the attributes of Allah Almighty. Patience, you have to have patience. You have to have tolerance. You have to have forgiveness. You have to have love. You got to have mercy. You have to have compassion. You have to practice all of the attributes. So to say that marriage is half of our faith and the fear of Allah Almighty is the other half, it's all the same. No distinction. When Adam ﷺ was in paradise, the angels carried him everywhere. He had no trials, he had no tribulations. All he was seeing was beauty. He couldn't appreciate it. Allah Almighty took from him Eve and had a sacred ceremony for him. Shaitan came in their midst. They started to argue with anger. Their egos were induced, and that anger killed their love, and they fell. We don't realize this, what this institution is, with the power of it. Marriage trains your egos. And that's why Allah puts the love in your hearts. So that you say, well, you know, I don't want to lose this person. Let me lower a wing of humility. Oh, so-and-so, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This is training the ego to accept guidance. We don't understand marriage. We only think that marriage is something we just jump in, satisfy our lusts, and jump out. We don't see that the importance of it is part of our worshiping and fearing Allah Almighty. When you kill a marriage, you kill a family. You kill a community, you kill a nation. It is the building blocks of an Islamic state or country or guidance from Allah Almighty. We have lost our guidance. We don't take it seriously, even the way we dress. Do you go before your Lord looking any kind of way? We must put on our best apparel. If Allah is calling us to give us something, if the president called you, you'd be in there with a tuxedo on. You'll find your best dress to represent yourself. Why would you come before Allah looking like you're at a picnic? This is a self-disrespect. You don't honor what Allah has given you, so you represent that. And this is why people run away from marriage, because they cannot handle it, they cannot deal with it. This is why when people are going to get married, they fear it. They get nervous, because it is half of our faith, and the other half is fear of Allah Almighty. Esau, Ibn Maryam, Jesus Christ has to return because of all those who came here from Allah Almighty. He was the only one that never married. He never had the test of marriage. He never had the trials and tribulations of marriage. The first law was marriage. Even though Eve was from Adam, he still had to marry her. That's why we have so many single people. Harm comes from single people because they are lonely. Trouble comes from them because they are lonely. A happy marriage, when you find a happy marriage, it's because two people are fighting their egos. They don't like to fight their egos, but as they learn, as they fight their egos, they know that Allah takes them up. We go closer to Allah Almighty. Adam and Eve, because they argued in the divine presence to Allah Almighty about which way they will go, following who? They're going to follow Allah, they're going to follow Shaitan. For 300 years. They were on earth for 300 years. It took 300 years for Allah Almighty to forgive them. Eve was in Jeddah, in Saudi Arabia, and Adam was in Sri Lanka. He was crying out to his Lord. She was crying out to Adam. The natural order of things. We've lost the natural order. We've let Shaitan flip-flop us because we've become weak and cowardly. We don't stand up for Allah. We stand up for our ego that represents Shaitan. That's why we have no strength. That's why we have no respect. That's why we have no honor, no dignity, no sincerity, and no understanding. And that's why we don't blow a wing of humility. The souls are not complete. And two, Allah Almighty brings the male and female together. Shaitan has tricked us that I can make it on my own. I don't need no man. I don't need no woman. Well, what are you doing? You cannot be happy unless you are in a situation where Allah Almighty is pleased and accepting, and you struggle with your ego, which is Allah Almighty's enemy. And as Allah Almighty is pleased because you are keeping your family happy, Allah is pleased and He raises the family up. Then He raises the community up. He raises the nation up.